Black Axe. Head to Death's Head. First spectacular mayhem issue. They tell me these islands are called the Morrow Atoll. 15,000 years ago, two continental plates ground against each other and forced to the surface lava from the Earth's molten core. The lava cooled, and these islands were born. 15,000 years ago. Yeah, a little before my time. Keep it tight, guys. Control picked up energy readings high enough to power a small arsenal. But only a little. Well, why couldn't they put a make on the energy signature, sir? We'd be better prepared if we knew who we're up against. Shield? Aim? I'd say you can stop worrying, Sergeant. It looks like whoever it was didn't walk away from the landing. He is the ultimate assassin, the ultimate mercenary. After 50,000 years of practice, he is a master of his profession. He's a towering, immortal warrior with state-of-the-art armor. He's a monster with a high-tech battle axe and millennia of attitude. He is Black Axe. The Immortality Gambit. You know what they say about first impressions. Repson? What? Holy, who's there? Scout 3-7 to control. Intruder engaged. Not yet Scout 3-7, Scout 3-7.
Speak to me, Scout 3-7.
Easy.
Phalanx leader to wingman. Take a fix on Scout 3-7's final position.
Follow my lead.
And keep trackers on wide beam.
Wingman Alpha to Phalanx leader. I've got an infrared fix. It's just one guy. Well, soon he'll be one guy in lots of little pieces.
Phalanx leader to control. We're in trouble here. Taking evasive action.
Too easy. Pull back all personnel within the compound. Activate the automatic defense systems. He's killed too many men already. Let the automatics deal with him. Why haven't they picked him up yet? What's the scanner status? There's nothing there, sir. No trace. He must be cloaked somehow. He could be anywhere. No challenge. This is insane. He just sidestepped the most sophisticated track and fire weaponry in the world and bypassed a quantum key locking system. Secure all quarters. Release the Horde. But sir, the gates are open. They could escape the compound. We can't. I'll tell you what can't happen. Hydra can't be made to look like amateurs by a lone intruder. Now do as I say. Yes, sir. We are a breeding station, and this is what they were bred for. Let them do their job. Company. Practice session. We have a problem here. Whoever he is, he's cutting through our defenses like they're not there. Show me. It is him. About time. I'm on my way. What do you mean with this? I'm on my way. Your job is to protect me from those who would wish to steal the products of my research or threaten my person. You have not been employed to play at Super... Doc, I didn't take this job for the money or for your sparkling conversation. I came to meet someone who's a legend in my line of work. My history tapes call him Black Axe. Seems he was never beaten. I aim to change history. And, Doc, this is no game. Entertaining, yes. But all good things come to an end. Very impressive. But can you do this? Armor's internal systems are still reeling from that blast. Need time to analyze the energy signature. Develop a counter. Need to get back on my feet. Ooh. You go down pretty easily for someone who's meant to be the best. By 2020, when I was created, historians had spent ages tracking you down. Said there was evidence you'd lived for thousands of years. Tape said you were unstoppable, uncatchable, an assassin without equal until you retired because there was no one left to challenge you. Well, here I am. Challenge this. Loch Lanark, the Scottish Highlands. Somewhere I call home when I need somewhere to run to.
Worst storm this century continues to attack the Loch Lanark area.
Tell me something I don't already know.
This is Highland Radio, wishing you a very good night.
With this racket going on over our heads, you must be joking. Now why are ye quivering so, Emily Hall? You're old enough to have seen 100 storms. This one's just a bit noisier than most. A mug of cocoa will stop your shivering and maybe stop you talking to yourself. I never heard thunder sound like that. So, let's see what does. Whatever it is, it's messed up the external scanners. Oh well, let's see if I can remember how to use this thing. I'm definitely too old for this. I don't know how you got through the gates, but this is as far as you go. Last jump. Drained the axe. Finished it off. Ooh. No energy left. Nothing left. Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde, Robert, what are you doing here? Hyde? An old name. Past life. One of many. One I don't use anymore. What have they done to you? Emily, help me. I thought you were dead. The papers reported the accident in 1961. I've kept the castle exactly as you instructed in your will. I knew you would, Sister Emily. I found this door shortly after your death. None of the household staff have ever been allowed down here. Wouldn't have made much difference. It didn't used to glow like this before. It knows I'm here. It's been waiting. I'm home. Hephaestus 4, heal me. As the Medicenter surrounds me with its soothing harmonics, my pain recedes and my mind slips away, gliding back through time to London, England. The board of the Mys-Tech Corporation. It appears that they achieved immortality through some mystical rite in AD 987. Youngsters. We contacted you, Black Axe, because we have a contract that might interest you. Our corporate intelligence section informed us that a scientist working for Hydra has discovered a genetic key that halts the aging process. A little more work, and you'll be able to buy immortality over the drugstore counter. We can't allow that. Why should I care? Killing a scientist offers no challenge. Which is exactly what we thought before the Mys-Tech shock troop sent to acquire his research materials came back in pieces. Since then, we've lost contact with our sources inside AIM. If our involvement has been discovered, they'll be expecting more of our people, not a freelance operator. And you are the best freelancer in the business, Black Axe. Why did I accept the contract? Over the last half-century, I had not accepted any. There seemed nothing left to test my capabilities. After centuries of scheming, fighting, and killing, I took on the challenge of peace and failed. Very well. I accept the contract. How long?
8 days. I don't understand how you can look so well or so young. You haven't aged in 30 years.
32. My axe?
Over there.
Old friend, now it is your turn to be healed.
But you have to eat something. It's been a week since you started work on that contraption, and you've hardly tasted a morsel of food. If you want to starve yourself, then...
Emily, when did you become so bossy?
Ugh, don't look at me like that. You make me feel like a child again. A scared little girl running from the bombs that had killed her parents, who had lost everything and who didn't know which way to turn, who to ask for help. Ow!
This is not a night to be running around with your eyes closed. My name is Robert Hyde. Do you need help?
There you were, with that smile, with those old eyes. All these years, and you haven't changed.
Proximity alarm. Someone's on the estate.
I'll try to delay them so you can get ready.
Emily, no. Self-sacrificial lunacy.
What?
Emily, get down.
Oh.
If you've damaged her, you will regret it. Black Axe, we are the Sisters of Grace. For the moment, we represent Mys-Tech. Work continues. On Morrow's Atoll, Mendel still lives. The board wishes to know why. In the past, the board always took the long view. Now they chase after me like frightened children. They must want the immortality gene very badly if they send lackeys to bully me. I will not be bullied.
Sisters, fall back. Jesse, capture the queen. I'm on it.
No good. Reaction's too slow, head still foggy from the healing. Muscles still aching. Too stiff, too damn slow. I'd say that's about enough. No. Now, perhaps you will listen. Too slow, unprepared, just like on the island. For now, the board only wishes to be reassured that the contract has not been abandoned. They hope that their faith in you is justified, despite your long retirement. We were commissioned to impress upon you the urgency of this assignment. I trust that you have been impressed. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be landing at Narita Airport in approximately 15 minutes. A broken axe, a broken spirit, only one place to mend both. Japan. Next issue, The Hand That Feeds You. Black Axe. Black Axe in Japan. Hand to hand with Sunfire. He is the ultimate assassin, the ultimate mercenary. After 10,000 years of practice, he is a master of his profession. He's a towering immortal warrior with state-of-the-art armor. He's a monster with a high-tech battle axe and millennia of attitude. He is Black Axe. The spirit of the sword. When the exiled god Susa no Oizumo, brother of the heaven-shining deity, defeated the eight-forked serpent of Koshi, he first tricked the serpent into drinking 8 bowls of the wine distilled 8 times. Then he struck the intoxicated beast with his 10-hand sword, with blows so numerous and so mighty that the river high flowed like a river of blood. When suddenly his sword was broken by a hardness within the beast's body, he thrust it into the flesh of the beast. Inside the belly of the beast, he found a perfect sword, which he straight away took and offered to the goddess Amaterasu. We are the hand. We are the flesh of the beast. The great sword is ours. We shall retrieve it. You shall retrieve it for us, Cage, warrior of the shadows, newly awakened from your centuries of slumber. And should it prove to be beyond your ancient powers, there are more modern methods at our disposal. Japan, Tokyo, formerly Edo, the seat of the shogun's power from 1603. Before that, the age of war. Ambitious feudal warlords, daimyo, hacked and slashed their way through 100-year struggle for power. Out of the carnage, 3 men laid the foundations of modern Japan, the great unifiers. Nobunaga, Hideyoshi, Tokugawa kept me occupied. Across the centuries, I've sought the primal challenge of combat. A duel, a battle, a war. There's something to learn from them all. Until recently, the latter years of this century have found me wondering, is there anything left to learn? The last time I did business with the techno-wizards of the Mys-Tech Corporation was over some overpriced tea chest in the desert in 1936. This time, there was a scientist and his research into immortality to destroy. No problem. Wrong. Whatever it was, it did not belong in this century. It tore the guts out of my axe and damn near did the same to me. All my combat techniques, my experience in campaigns without number, meant nothing. My mind and body cried out for only one thing: escape. Running like a frightened rabbit to a bolt hole I'd prepared years ago. I thought I'd have time to heal and prepare a second assault. Wrong again. They called themselves the Sisters of Grace. They bested me with humiliating ease. 2 such comprehensive defeats proved that the world does not lack challenge, but that I lacked the spirit to meet them. In the month that I have been in Japan, this is the first time I have donned my armor. I have meditated, fasted, stirred from this room only to train alone at night. I have retreated into myself and rededicated my spirit. Only one thing remains to complete the process: my axe. You realize, of course, that the great sword is a myth, a fairy story. Only children and fools believe in fairy tales. Kaori Tamayoshi's family has a long history of excellence in the art of sword making. We keep in touch. The hand exists in the shadows, between truth and legend. We are not so foolish as to believe that there is no truth in the story. The greatness of a sword is in its making, and your family have made the finest swords throughout history. We have offered you wealth and power in return for your secrets. Your ancestors refused our offers, evaded our inquiries. Now we have come to take what you refused to give. Cage. Could smell them from a block away. No gadgets. No shortcuts. Pure technique. By Amada. What's going on? I'll have your hearts for this. You. It has been many years, but the hand has a long memory. Kill him. Like they needed telling. Pure technique. Light, then heavy. Cage, kill the Gaijin. Quickly. Cage. His name means shadow. I heard rumors about him when I was last in Japan. I see they weren't exaggerating. Sagama Chunin, situation red.
Release the second wave.
Hi, Jonan-sama. Damn! Kaori-chan, no. Someone call in the heavy brigade? Right. No gadgets. No shortcuts. Oh well. Prime Minister, this is the National Defense Force Central Control. Reports are coming in of a running battle that started in the Kabuchiko district and is headed for the Meiji Shrine. Mandroids and a Gaijin are reported to be involved. The Gaijin may be superhuman. We need your authorization to commit the counterforce. Is the order given? The Meiji Shrine is dedicated to the first emperor of modern Japan, the present emperor's great-grandfather. It was rebuilt after being destroyed in the war. History may be about to repeat itself. Come on, Kaori.
Go on ahead, Black Axe-san. I'll only slow you down.
Hands off. Are you all right?
Yes,
That citizen is under my protection, foreigner. Stand away. Or face the wrath of Sunfire.
No. Sunfire, Yashida-sama, no.
Don't you people get tired of picking on the wrong guy first? Tamayoshi-san, is that you?
Hi, Yashida-sama. This man is known to me and my family. He is a warrior. Tonight, he has been my protector.
I heard Gaijin in the briefing. I assumed.
Then who?
Get him clear, Kaori. I still have a little business to attend to. Let me be, woman. The Yoshida are a samurai clan. We do not turn and run from a battle.
Inform the Jonan. Sunfire fights with the king. Continue the assault. They are what do while we are ready. This is Counterforce Leader. Pick your targets and bring them down. Try to keep one of them intact for the tech to take a look at. That can may be defeated, but never captured. We go to Amida, brother. Blessed Amida.
I am afraid you cannot escape the crowds in Narita Airport. But customs clearance from the Prime Minister's office should make your trip a little easier. My thanks, Yoshida-san. I gather that you already know Miss Tamayoshi? Indeed. Her family have been swordsmiths to the Yoshida clan for centuries. We have long appreciated their craftsmanship. That makes 2 of us, and the hand makes a 3rd. They won't stop at this. Do not fear. We shall be vigilant. Have a pleasant flight. Would you come with us, please, sir? Is there a problem? I have customs clearance. We know, sir. There's just one last document that must be signed. The hand demands vengeance, Nation. Maybe later. I already have an appointment with a cyborg who knows more about me than I do. Some humans who would live forever, and the completion of my contract on Morrow Atoll. Next issue, Black Axe, Death Said 2, Face to Face with Mephisto. Black Axe. Death's Head 2 against Mephisto. Morrow Atoll. A small group of volcanic islands in the South Pacific, and the location of a secret Hydra research complex. The first time I came here was to destroy the formula for a genetic key to immortality that had been developed by Hydra scientists, among other things. The complex's military contingent was well armed and highly trained, though understandably unprepared for my assault. It took another freelancer to force my retreat. I anticipated their increased readiness for my return. More powerful armaments, more secure defenses. Looks like I flattered myself. The Immortality Gambit 2, the last temptation of Black Axe. Only trace of whoever, whatever, did this is a slight hint of sulfur in the air. This cyborg bested me, forced me to flee like a frightened child. I had been looking forward to a rematch. It spoke of having knowledge of me from a future time. I'd like to know more. You would have thought that designers capable of creating such a creature would have been able to install self-repairing systems. Well, if that's the best he can do, then his systems aren't back up to full power. I don't want a rematch with an invalid. Couldn't hack it, going one-on-one, so you decided to bomb the place to hell. And now you've worked up the guts to come back and inspect your handiwork. Well, could you just hold it down for a second? Seems you're not the only survivor of whatever happened here. Breakfast, I'm not. They must have escaped the complex when I opened the gates on my last visit. Anything left inside wasn't so lucky. I may be ugly. They go sledge very nicely. What happened here?
Mys-Tech's would-be assassin has returned. During his last visit to my little island charade, he intrigued me. Of this planet, yes, but of a more ancient lineage than its present inhabitants. I will know more of this black axe.
Yeah, I don't think you can get on my good side with that look behind you, crud. I've got 105 sides, but there ain't a good one among them. Right, I expected a rematch, but you want to bore me to death. I also expected the Hydra complex to still be here. What happened? The clearing up operation had only just gotten underway when things started getting weird. Let me out of here, you sadist! This creature's getting far too friendly! Guess you must have bred any good taste right out of him. Hey, maybe that wuss with the axe decided to come back and take annihilation like a man. But I guess it wasn't you. It felt like the island was being pulled right out from under us. The air stank of sulfur. What the hell's going on? I had to ask. They came out of nowhere. Through the walls, up through the floor. I tried to get into the open, find some space to make a stand, but they were everywhere. Ripping, tearing, hurting me like I've never felt before. By the time my legs gave out, I was already blind with pain. After that, nothing, till I came round and found you creeping about. The only living things I've found on the island are you and the remnants of the Horde. Nothing like the creatures you describe. Nor have I any interest in finding them. I'm here to fulfill a contract and to conclude my business with you. I want what you know about my future. I'll be happy to beat it out of you if that's what you'd prefer. But I'd suggest we find a new location, somewhere we won't be disturbed. Be glad to. Right now, I'd turn around if I were you. If you expect me to fall for that old sulfur, coating tongue, clogging lungs, suffocating. Some people might be tempted to say, I told you so. But me, I'm just worried that someone else is gonna get a chance to take you down before I do. Heads up down there. Here comes the Damnation Cavalry. I have to admit, there are times when I wish I wasn't quite so irresistibly wild and impulsive. Head beginning to clear. Armor's electronics still jangling. Not just a hole in the ground, a dimensional portal. When I set up this pantomime, I knew those vainglorious idiots on the Mys-Tech board would send an agent to either destroy or acquire the so-called Immortality gene. Where am I? I plan to enjoy the spectacle of them chasing their tails after something that
does not exist. Then you arrived, a worthy prize, an ancient soul that shall be mine. Rejoice. And who wants me here? Mephisto has plans for you. When I planted the idea of an immortal gene in the mind of that dim-witted sadist, Mendel, I sought only to amuse myself with the antics of the Mys-Tech board. Their desperation to be free of my thrall makes them prey to any temptation. But Mys-Tech has only ever been one of many channels of influence upon the human world. Their greed and lust make them ready tools for my intrigues. But there would be advantages to having a more permanent agent among them, a provocateur of pain, a soul hardened by a life dedicated to destruction. And it seems that I have found him. Mind being peeled, layers of identity being stripped away. Assassin, foot soldier, warlord, thief. Peel back every layer. Strip away the veneer of 1,000 civilizations. One thing remains, like the sword in the dragon's heart, the iron in the warrior's soul, refined through 1,000 lifetimes. Me. No lust, no ambition. Such a singularity of purpose is unique, but alas, is of no use to me. My darlings, he is yours. Axe to me. No point in waiting. Time to give the devil his due, and then some. I may not have the pleasure of your fealty, but I shall have the pleasure of your evisceration. You didn't think I was just gonna let you run out on me, did you? Just when my systems were reaching optimum levels again. I've been giving them a quick shakedown on these guys. But don't go away. I'll be right with you. Insane. Totally. But he'll keep. Right now, payback. What manner of creature are you that shrugs aside the power of the master of lies? Get back! I have toyed with the souls of gods, plucked the wings from angels, yet I cannot stop you. Have you no fear? Have you no soul? No! Be gone! Pacific Atoll sinks. Exclusive report by our on-the-scene reporter. Morrow Atoll yesterday, Morrow Atoll today.
My guess is that it was a panic measure. By then, he couldn't be sure that anything would work. But I went from hellfire to Antarctic deep freeze before I could pull the trigger. A sudden temperature change popped one of my armor's thermocouples. The cyborg could have materialized anywhere. As for Mephisto, I wonder how long it has been since the Master of Lies tasted real fear. Well, that's all well and good, but are you sure the gene for immortality is a hoax? Just a joke. Mephisto was playing with your desire to be free of him. I'd imagine Hydra are pretty teed off right now, too. They lost a lot of men and machinery in this fiasco. How do we know you're not lying to cover up your own failure? The report by the Sisters of Grace was less than flattering about your abilities. Yes, the Sisters. I have every intention to go over their report with them in the near future. If I were you, Miss Witchwood, I would investigate Mephisto's claim that you are not his only minions at work on Earth. His assessment of your status was far from flattering. Oh, very well, Black Axe. We shall take your points on board. How would you like your payment? I have already been paid. Just this once, you may keep your money. What do you mean? Who paid you? You did, Miss Witchwood. Before taking your contract, I believed that I had met every challenge the world had to offer. This, I discovered, was the foolish complacency of an old man. This contract, my time in Japan, have reminded me that challenges must be sought, not waited upon. After too long away, Black Axe is back. Next, death and resurrection on the Nile.